Hello, I am Meshell Baker, the Chief Confidence Igniter, and this is Mondays with Meshell being brought to you on a Wednesday Wisdom. And our topic this week is why don't doesn't work and what to say instead. This is a topic I'm very passionate about, so I'm really truly excited to share with you and to look at some tips as well as some techniques that you can begin to immediately implement to turn things around and have more productive, powerful, and profitable conversations. So the first tip I want to give you, and there will be three, is the brain ignores negative. Yeah, that one is amazing. Our brain is wired to focus on positive action rather than negative instructions. So when you tell someone, don't forget, their brain latches on the word forget. It ignores the don't. So in framing instead your instructions positively, for example, remember to instead of don't forget, directly focuses them on that desired result. So you actually take them to where you want them to be instead of like doing a U-turn or a workaround. The second tip, positive language encourages action. So when you use positive language, you are clarifying exactly what you want, which also encourages action. For example, saying something like, please walk instead of don't run. What you're doing is instead of admonishing someone or talking down at them, you're actually shifting your language to get better results and actually reinforce something positive in that other person. The third tip I want to give you is positive framing builds better relationships. Think about it. When someone communicates with you clearly, positively, it fosters a better relationship. You don't have that propensity to not want to be around that person. Anytime someone is constantly telling you don't and stop, won't and can't, those are people you don't enjoy being around. Whatever you think about them, or you know you have a meeting or you have to interface with them, your physical trigger is negative. When someone actually frames things to you in a positive manner that it's encouraging and empowering, guess what? Your framework is going to be positive. So this builds a stronger relationship. And when you're in the workplace, and you're a leader, this makes you approachable. This means that the people that you are working with are more likely to fulfill the instructions and directions and more likely to come to you when they need assistance or they don't understand, instead of being in inaction and making mistakes repeatedly. So this is especially important in, as I said, in leadership and teamwork. Now, how do I know what I'm telling you works? Well, according to a study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology, instructions framed positively were followed 31% more often than those framed negatively. Can you really think about the impact that would have on productivity if you had a 31% increase in people following your instructions on a regular ongoing basis? This really highlights the significant impact of your language and what'll happen to the behavior of those that you're speaking directly to. So here's what you can immediately begin to implement to turn things around. Start replacing your don'ts statements with positive instructions. For example, don't be late. Instead, use please be on time. Don't forget to call me. Remember to call. Now, these are examples of focusing the person's attention to the action you actually want them to take, making it more likely that they'll remember to call you or they'll remember to be on time. So, example, teenager, don't leave your room messy. Instead, say, please keep your room tidy. Right? And this again is the desired outcome, encouraging someone to be clean and straight rather than to avoid a mess. Remember, the brain does not interpret the negative. So you are wanting to frame your request or your instruction or direction in a positive manner for the actual result. What is the outcome or the result you're looking to create or generate? That is the language of what you're communicating. Don't interrupt while I'm talking. Instead, please wait until I finish speaking. This promotes patience and respect to the speaker, and it creates a more positive relationship and environment. right? And then my final one example for this is don't waste time. Use your time wisely. And I like to say, choose your time wisely. This encourages productivity and better management by focusing on the positive effect of using time wisely. Now, these tips will improve your communication. It's going to give you better results. It's going to create better relationships. And it's simply that switch. You're looking at framing your words in a different manner so that you are focusing on something favorable. What is it that you actually want the result to be? Speak to the result that you want and eliminate all conversation about the things you don't want. There's a time and place for that. And when you're giving instruction and direction, this is meant to be positive communication. Now, as I always hope, this video is helpful to you. If so, let me know in the remarks, share it out with someone else. And I definitely want to know, what do you think about this? Is this something that you'd like to hear more of and more ways to begin to communicate confidently and positively so you can have a more productive and profitable outcome and impact on your organization with your teams? I am Meshell Baker, the Chief Confidence Igniter, transformational keynote speaker, confident living catalyst, and it's been my pleasure to bring to you Mondays with Meshell on a Wednesday Wisdom.